Charging, generating single-phase alternating current. When the magnet rotates one turn during 1 second, the frequency is 1 cycle. Charging, phase alternating current. After the 3 groups of coil having the same windings, A, B, B, and C are wound in 120-degree array. When a magnet is rotating within the coil array, then the 3-phase AC voltage is generated. Charging, connecting method of 3-phase coil. The figure A shows the Y connection in which each one end of a B and C coil is each outer terminal and each other end is connected at one point, while the figure B shows the triangle connection, or delta connection, in which one start point of each coil is connected to other end point of each coil and each connected point is 3 outer terminals. Charging, direct current alternator. When the armature turns in 1 turn, then the 1 cycle of AC voltage is generated. The DC alternator is formed by connecting a commutator and connecting brushes. At the load connected to the brush, the direct current will flow. Charging, structure and operation. The AC alternator comprises of stator the fixed part, rotor the rotating part. The stator coil fixed by the stator generates output current of the alternator. The rotor and the rotor coil rotate in the stator to induce the electromotive force at the stator coil. Charging, stator. The stator steel core comprises of the lagged thin silicon steel plates, and inside of it there are some slits for installing the stator coil. During operation, it becomes the pathway for the magnetic flux generated from the pole of the rotor. Charging, rotor. The stator steel core comprises of the lagged thin silicon steel plates, and inside of it there are some slits for installing the stator coil. During operation, it becomes the pathway for the magnetic flux generated from the pole of the rotor. Charging, rectifier. The rectifier comprises of diode. 6 diodes are installed at the rear part of the end frame to rectify the 3-phase AC generated at the stator coil to convert into the direct current. Charging, operation. After the engine is cranked, the rotor is rotated, and the stator shut down the magnetic flux of rotor so that the 3-phase alternating current is generated at the stator coil. This AC voltage is rectified into direct current by the 6 silicon diodes and output via the B terminal. Direct current alternator regulator. The DC alternator regulator comprises of the cutout relay, the voltage regulator, and the current limiter. Operation of the cutout relay. If the current generated by rotation of the alternator meets to the cut-in voltage, then the core will be magnetized by the magnetic force formed by the voltage coil, and then the contact point will be closed. At this time, the current coil has current, so that the contact point can be completely closed by the magnetic force generated by the 2 coils. Therefore, the charging current will flow into the battery. Voltage regulator. If the generated voltage is higher than regulated value, the exciting current will be reduced by connecting an additional resistor to the field coil in serial in order to cut down the generated voltage. If the voltage is lower than the regulated value, then some resistor will be disconnected from the field coil to recover the generated voltage. Current limiter. As the output current of the alternator is increasing, if it reaches to the limitation value at last, then the contact point will be opened by the magnetic force of the electromagnet. When the contact point is open, the serial resistor is connected to the field circuit so that the generated voltage will be decreased. Transistor type voltage regulator. Using a transistor as a switch instead of the contact point, the transistor type voltage regulator changes the average value of the field current to control the generating voltage. As it has not mechanical parts, it has long lifetime and good resistance against vibrations. IC voltage regulator. IC voltage regulator comprises of the semiconductor circuits to intermit the rotor coil current, and then it can regulate the voltage generated at the AC alternator. It can be made in tiny size so that it can be embodied into the alternator. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.